Bennettarium, you are the best in my life, and you know that you are the best podcast in my life. Welcome to the Bennettarium.
Well, it sounds like you need to get some new podcasts in your life. If this is the best one, the one you're a part of.
We did another take of that, but I included the word cigar, and we don't want, cigars people to think cigars are cool, and everyone's like, well, Steam Powered Giraffe talked about cigars, so I bought a bunch of cigars at the local cigar shop, and we don't want to be responsible for that. That would be bad. Just all our fans are just like, I'm just like the Spine.
No, don't drag the Spine in this. He wasn't the one talking about cigars.
If anyone, it would have to be the Spine. No.
I'm just like Zero. I'm smoking cigars.
Okay.
No, cigars are bad, and everyone should know that. Forever and ever and ever. Have fun.
If it's not water, it's bad for you. And even water is bad for you, so you got to draw the line somewhere.
Might as well just drink your own spit.
Welcome to the Bennettarium, the podcast by the members of the band Steam Powered Giraffe.
We are Steam Powered Giraffe, and this is our podcast.
Brian, do you want to give your second intro?
This is a podcast from a band called Steam Powered Giraffe. That's what the band is called, and that's what the podcast is. And I'm very happy to be here. And my name is Brian Barberin, and I'm in the band Steam Powered Giraffe.
And I am Isabella Money Bennett, and I am in the band Steam Powered Giraffe.
My name is David Michael Bennett, and I'm in the band the Steam Powered Giraffe.
Oh.
Hello, everyone. This is Chelsea Paniak. I'm also a member of Steam Powered Giraffe, but not as important.
Spot on.
Also, I just want to chime in. I'm even less important.
I am the...
No, I'm probably the least important out of the...
I was going to say I'm the least important.
Let's just say I'm the least important.
Honestly, I don't even need to be
here.
Everyone,
look up my profile on the Wikipedia. All it says is won that world's most humblest person award.
Yeah, I'm just here to get the levels, and I'm going to let you guys. You're the talent, so I'm just going to.
Well, sometimes it takes support.
It wasn't much of a reward. It was more of like a commemorative bookmark for an event I went to. So it's really not anything important.
In fact, I've never even talked to a person before. I've never had any friends, and none of you are my friends. And even though I've tried for a long time, I don't know.
I'm not even talking to you right now. I'm talking to myself, and you all happen to be looking at me through a camera, and that's wrong. And you shouldn't do that. And that's also another PSA: no cigars, no looking at people through cameras.
Okay. In all seriousness, though, let's get on to the band news. Here in the band news, the band released an album in November.
Whoa.
Go check it out wherever musics are listened to.
I'm going to go down to the Best Buy and purchase a CD today.
I'm going to Warehouse Music, and I'm going to listen to it on my phones.
What is that album called?
You can look it up. You can look it up. Steam Powered Giraffe.
Can we Google? Google it, okay?
Yeah. If you don't know it, if you're listening to this podcast, you didn't just stumble on this podcast. You were like, oh that band I like that one song from has a podcast. Well, I guess I'll give it a listen. So that's.
And boy, were you disappointed.
Well,
that's why you're here.
But I stayed because they were so humble. In other news, we're working on new stuff. Okay, that's the end of Steam Powered Giraffe news. Now we're moving on to the real meat of the podcast.
Wow.
Questions!
We have questions today from Steam Powered Giraffe fans just like you, and also Steam Powered Giraffe fans that are not like you in the slightest, because everyone is unique in their own way.
Some have really great questions, and some have terrible questions.
These questions are from people who gave us money on our Patreon.
And the people who didn't give us money, well, we've never heard from them.
We don't know if they have questions, and frankly, we don't care.
Those questions go directly into the trash. Right here. To the right.
No, we're not being sincere. I don't know. It was evident that we're just kind of goofing around, but we do actually have questions, and we are going to answer them.
These come from our Patreon patrons. It's just a little way that we like to say, hey, thanks for your money, and and we'll answer you questions 3
What's the secret of life?
We've got more than that.
You got any? Want to learn any fun movie facts? We
Fun
got you
movie
covered.
facts.
We screened the
Indiana
questions,
Jones.
and it's none of those. So don't hold your breath.
Are you all-
'Cause I
are
don't
you
have
all
an answer
ready?
to any of those. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. First question comes from Cab. How did you guys come up with the band for Ollie and the Equinox band?
I guess I'll take this one.
Yeah, you put a little bit Led Zeppelin, and then you took a little bit of Heart, and you put them together, and
With
then
some wings and some buoyancy, so you can, actually
I
lift
hope
off
everyone
the ground. Lead is
knows
very
what
hard
Ollie and the Equinox band is.
and heavy.
If you don't, check out our new album,
Did you go-
1896.
Everyone get the jokes out of the way.
Okay.
nope, Shaka Khan's in there, so she's on drums. It's a lovely band.
Okay, so Ollie and the Equinox Bands is a song from our newest album, 1896. Oops, I said the name. I was supposed to Google. And it's a song we did play live a few times before the album came out. And it's one of the band's, I would say, story songs, where it's kind of about heroes or group of heroes. So we have a few of those. And it's pretty much just our band, Steam Powered Giraffe, singing about another band. So that's the premise, and it takes heavily inspiration from something like Josie and the Pussycats, The Impossibles, all those old cartoons where superhero bands or some type of mystery-solving bands. So that's where the inspiration came from. So the other question is probably, well, how did we get the people on the album for it? Because we actually have, at the end of 1896, the real Ollie and the Equinox band playing a song, or that's what it's supposed to be. So those were people we knew, vocalists who were able to hire and pay to do this for us.
I've got a question for you, David. Now, if Ollie and the Equinox Band was a real-life TV show in the 70s made by Hanna-Barbera, what celebrity guests would you like to solve a mystery?
I mean, the Harlem Globetrotters is first and foremost.
Good answer.
Sonny
I would have slapped you. It was either that or Phyllis Diller. Those are the only answers. And good. All right. Thank you.
I'm trying to cover all the bases there. Hopefully that covers most of it. It's not a real band. We made the song. If you're a patron, you can actually go hear the song where it's just me singing the lead stuff. So we can as an example for the singers to sing to do their stuff too. That's how that one came about.
Oh, was there any, just because they asked, how did you come up with the band? The idea for the band, was there any inspiration behind it, or?
Yes, everything I already said. No, the Hanna-Barbera, something like Jabberjaw, Josie and the Pussycats, Impossibles. That's the inspiration. Is those?
Okay.
If you look at the artwork too, it's that as well. It looks like something Hanna-Barbera drew or something.
Yeah, check out Josie and the Pussycats. You'll be like, oh yeah, this is this kind of thing they're going for.
Not the movie, the TV show.
Yeah, the old TV
Very
show.
different. Chelsea. They
They went to space at one point too, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a spin-off series after they were like, yeah, we did everything on Earth, so here, let's go into space.
Go to space.
A rock band's, they're obviously qualified for that. So.
They're just like cats, so pretty.
This next
complex
question is from Space Kit Cat. Seeing how you recorded the song Daughter of Space before it became an SPG song, what was your inspiration behind it?
Guess these are both questions that I guess I would be answering. We didn't show all these up. So, what was the question?
Well, when David was younger, he had a daughter. We didn't
inspiration.
know where they went.
This
They
is
traveled
about-
the world.
Daughter of Space, which is a song off of the Vice Quadrant from 2015.
Yeah, when we were making, when Bunny and I were making space songs and stuff, we had the plan for our second album to be a space album, but our after 2 Cent Show actually, so it was going to be our third album. But we had member lineup and stuff, and we were like, nah, it didn't make sense to jump right into the space album. We wanted to get Sam Luke, who came in, who played Hatchworth. It made more sense to just do an album with him, like a standard one, to try and get some songs built up for him for live shows. We put the space album on hold, but we were still making songs. So I made a song, and I didn't know who was going to be on for Steam Powered Giraffe, and it was Daughter of Space, and it was just inspired by someone I was dating at the time. So what's more interesting, the history or the actual inspiration? Probably neither.
All right, next question's from Kindy. What's the best makeup remover you guys have found?
I use kind of makeup removal wipes that you might find at a Walgreens or a CVS.
Yeah,
you know,
I
just-
use Neutrogena.
Yeah, and then it's usually like once I remove it, you just do it gently because those metal particles will irritate your skin, something fierce, especially around the eye area. So like, be careful.
If any of you are just tuning in and this is your first podcast, we dress as robots, by the way.
We
And
dress
have,
up like
we have makeup on our
robots.
faces a lot. So there you go.
Not right now, but
David put me up on the baby soap.
baby soap good.
The baby shampoo? Yeah. I was like, I bought a big old thing of Johnson & Johnson's baby shampoo. And so I use
If it's
that
good
one.
enough to clean a baby, it's good enough to clean a
Well,
face.
'cause
My face is soft as a baby's booty, I'll tell you.
you want something mild, and then you don't want it to burn your eyes if it gets in there. Because then if your eyes are burning, it's because the makeup got in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
And then
you
I
can
do like
drink it if you wanted to.
I do an oil cleanser after that, and then I do a hydration little foam thing.
Oh, nice.
I'll
it's
use
so nice.
I think I don't know. I would say a terry cloth, but it's not really that. It's some type of microfiber cloth that's meant for removing
Yeah.
makeup. And I just let that dry but put it on wet in the shower, and it works better than a loofah or something that might be too abrasive,
Huh.
or even a towel because it's like very soft and has like lots of microscopic fibers. And so I don't know what that one is called, but
No matter what I do, I always have a square right here. From like whatever square I have, it just it'll be there for 2
it's
to 3
the
days.
silver
that's
one,
the-
right?
Every time.
Is that
yeah,
the-
it's a silver square.
Oh yeah.
Silver.
But it's it's just like it's lighter there than any other part of my skin.
I
so it's
I
just like a weird
look like I have dirt on my neck.
Yeah,
It's
or like in
getting
your
into
ears.
getting into these, like ow,
Um,
ow,
yeah.
ow! I can't.
I mean, for
scrub off all the
the
makeup on my
Walter
neck.
Worker
It
makeup
hurts.
is that white cream based stuff, and it's actually
Oh, yeah.
thicker than the metallic stuff you guys use.
that's
So
so
like, yeah, my removal process is 2 Neutrogena makeup remover wipes, shower, wash off
Cry
the
in the
residue,
shower, and then
cry in the shower, and then you get out, and it usually takes a third makeup wipe to
Me
get
too.
all the rest off after a shower. Yep.
boy, does it feel good though after a long day of wearing that makeup, and you're just like, oh.
Next question is from my end. What's an instrument you've been wanting to learn?
Ooh.
trombone. I have a practice trombone here, and I was like, quarantine, how perfect. I'll learn a trombone. But then I was like, oh, I live in an apartment building, and I would be the worst human being ever during this quarantine to learn trombone. So I didn't learn it, and
I
been
play
working
accordion,
on it.
so I feel your pain.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, they'll drive you
Fiddling
crazy.
around on that.
But I do
Trombone
have the little
was my
mouthpiece,
favorite.
and every once in a while I try to like work that kind of stuff because I feel like that's half the trouble's getting them.
They make isolation chambers for saxophones and trumpets and stuff like that, but they're almost as expensive as the instrument themselves. But that's what people
Yeah.
do when they live in apartments. And then it has
Cone of shame?
It has like a microphone inside, and you
Cone
put
of
then you have
shame.
the earbuds, so you can play and the air goes, but it's completely muffled. But inside it sounds like a normal, like good enough to be able to learn it. But also, you're in a chamber, and it's not. It's not quite the same because it's this instrument surrounded by this thing. So
No. Tough.
I think I'd want to learn. I don't know, like something weird, like xylophone or like a theremin. I guess a
theremin. Actually, theremins are pretty easy.
I don't know. They're pretty. I mean, I guess if you have one you can adjust the tone a little bit.
Because like
without your hand.
well, that's what it's figuring out the
Yeah.
right sounds and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just you just got to play around with it.
It'd be nice something if you just had one, you could always just go.
Yo, why don't we have a theremin?
we do. We had one, and Sam took it
Sam.
because it wasn't being used. And he's like, "Hey, can I borrow this?" And I've never seen it ever since. But we
I'm
wouldn't
getting it
ask
back.
for it back.
Yeah, we're getting it back. We're gonna do it for a show. It'd be
Just
awesome.
buy another one. It's probably I don't know
Oh,
how
did you?
much it was. No, probably
We
not.
did have
I mean,
a
it wasn't.
theremin.
It wasn't an
We did
expensive
use
one.
it for an album. We used the theremin for the album.
It's just it's just a fun thing to have on stage because you can go to it anytime and add some spooky Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I think a new instrument would be fun, but realistically, it's not going to happen. But I think most of the instruments I want to learn are ones that are like just annoying to practice. Like I think learning a string instrument like a violin or a viola or something would.
Oh yeah.
But it's and I've had some in the past, and we've put some on album 1, like actual us playing it. But You know, you
String instruments are very
can't really
hard.
do that in an apartment unless. Well, you can with electric
Camille
stuff.
used to
these
play
days,
cello as a kid.
But
Get into cello.
it's real hard.
What?
with
Really?
your fingers.
Yeah.
She went to Coachella.
Yeah.
Let's get her back on that cello.
In elementary school, it's been quite a while, but she played cello for a few years.
Well, it's just like a bicycle, just like a big wooden bicycle that you.
So she's
that's
like
very
this tiny
delicate.
little kid with this giant
Yeah,
instrument.
yeah.
That's adorable.
I did violin, but she played cello for longer than I played violin.
Also, let's get you on that violin. What's going on? How much to rent a violin?
I remember nothing.
This is my goal for 2021.
I played ukulele for a few years too, around 6th grade.
There you go.
Still have it, but it's not in tune.
Hurdy-gurdy would be fun.
The hurdy-gurdy. Oh, those are pretty. Fun.
Hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy,
All right, next question. Blue Spine asks, "What's the funniest mishap that's ever occurred either before, during, or after a show or a set? Can be as far back as your busking days if you'd like."
Which one can we talk about? What's one that
I guess
haven't said in
we
a
do get
while?
this question quite a bit, so I think maybe we'll do the one we didn't talk about last time. I think the last one we talked about was a mishap at the San Diego
Yes.
Zoo when we were performing. So if you're interested
some
in that
colorful
one,
language that I accidentally let slip?
I think we've detailed that one numerous times
Yes.
over the years in the podcast. So you can go back and listen to all 63 episodes.
What happened?
and find one.
Did I get fired? You can find out.
But the other one is I was super sick. It was winter. We flew to Michigan for a 2-day show. It was just a concert on a weekend, and someone hired us for. And it was like snowed in. I got sick, like I guess during the travel there, and I was just like, I still had my voice, but I was like not feeling good and runny nose, and I had to pee a lot. That was a weird addition. So on stage, I had to pee, and I was like, I can't. There's not going to be a break because it's not like, oh, I'll just wait a half an hour. Like, no, the show's 2.5 hours long, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. Like, I'm like, I had to do it, and I just said, in character was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I don't know what I actually don't remember the actual thing, but I basically just left, and I was like,
I remember this
You're
moment
on your own.
that felt like an hour of when you said that and you're walking off stage, where I was just like, I don't know what's going on. And it felt like it forever for it to process, and then me and Sam just improvised.
And then when I was coming back, I went the wrong way, and I was like, but then I realized I was going the wrong way to get back on stage because it's a theater. I mean, all theaters look the same, but I have no idea. You know, it was easy to get lost. So I ended up in the orchestra pit, which happened to be open because I don't know, it's just how it was. So I was able to pop my head up in the orchestra pit. When I came back, I was like, hey, this isn't the stage or something like that. And
Yeah, it was good.
I thought it was funny after being gone for like 10 minutes or so. And 10 minutes is a long time
It was-
for
it was
people to just talk
entertaining.
on stage, but I think you guys did well.
I think that was one of Sam's earlier shows. Yeah,
It
was kinda
definitely-
like trial by
it de-
fire
yeah.
a couple for those shows with him.
It definitely got him a little nervous, I would imagine, from what I remember. Like, it was definitely
Yeah.
like, is that going to happen all the time? Like, no. But if it does, you got to have it. And I've never done it since. But, like, I'm not going to pee my pants on stage. Like, it was literally that. Like,
Would have been quite the show.
I was sick enough that I just could not control my body functions. And I had to do the singing stuff. So.
We have to stall and improvise quite a lot. Usually it's like when a guitar string breaks or there's a technical mishap that needs to be taken care of, like right now, right there and then. But like, what are you gonna do? You just gotta grin and smile and keep carrying on.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably 2013 or something like that. So
Yeah.
it was early when Sam.
Now you just expect it. You're just like, oh, I hope something goes wrong.
Because now it's
We've
my
done
time to
shows where, like,
shine.
There was that one Christmas show, like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, that were just like everything that could go wrong was going wrong, and like it was hilarious though. Because we just played it. We just played with it.
Once that happens enough times, they're not
Dig
like you
into it.
want things to go wrong, but it gets almost to a point where you just kind of sail through it. And you're like, oh, okay, I can
Yeah.
handle this because it happens. Like, you're never, if you do live performance, like you're gonna run into some issue or situation at some point where you have to kind of improvise and just smile your way through it, and it's not fun, but it's like it feels like an accomplishment afterwards, where you're like, oh, I made it through that, and
It's
like
like
I'm
Freddie
still
Mercury
standing.
always
The
said.
audience isn't booing me, and it's like, yeah.
The show must fat bottom girls make the rock and roll go round.
Yeah. Next question.
Sure.
Something steam powered asks, what is choreography like for the band? This is for the Penyacs ballet routines and the robots choreography. So yeah, I've talked about the ballet a couple of times. Camille's not here; she's at work. But I've chatted with her a bit on the Bennettarium in the past about the ballets, and at least our process for that is getting together, listening to the song we're choreographing to over and over again while we talk to each other, because it starts as just chatting back and forth in our like broad ideas. Then we start writing things down. And so much of it is like conceptual, and the audience will never know, like we come up with like, well, what story are we trying to tell? What interpretation of the song are we getting, and do we want to put onto stage? So it starts with us listening to the song over and over again, to the point where the year that we premiered Me and My Baby, it was like my top song on Spotify, and I was like, oh, this is embarrassing. But yeah, it's because like you just listen to it over and over, you get familiar with the song, and then you start we handwrite our choreography. Like I find it easier to like make concrete ideas in my head when I like handwrite it instead of typing it, and then we just I don't know what you would think, bit by bit. We usually go through the verses. Like we'll focus on one verse, then the chorus, then the next verse, and we would usually spend each rehearsal session on like one verse or one chorus. So like just break it down into segments, and work your way through the song. And it's not always linear. Sometimes we have ideas for something mid-song or something, it's like, oh, I've got a really great move that I'm imagining for this particular point in the song. So it's not always linear. We don't always chronologically choreograph the song from beginning to end, but generally speaking, we would choreograph one verse per rehearsal, and then it just comes together.
I just took a quick poll from the viewers on our live stream. What their favorite pizzas: pepperoni, cheese, Hawaiian, barbecue, chicken.
It was Hawaiian, wasn't it? Everyone loves Hawaiian pizza.
It's a tie between pepperoni.
Well, it's
and
like,
cheese.
stop talking about Hawaiian pizza. We get it, but
No,
people love it.
this is a survey of like 12 people, so a dozen people. This is indicative of the rest of the world.
It was.
But what are your guys' favorite pizzas? I don't even know. This is a question I feel like I should have asked you.
Well, it's harder when you only get 4 choices. I'll admit that, but Anyways, that's not a question. I just was, keeping it interesting.
Is there anything you guys want to add about the robots choreography on stage?
Well, I think the rest of us, it depends on the song for sure. Like even with your guys' stuff, we have to collaborate to, find the stage, like where we're going to be on stage and you guys are on stage. But for robot stuff, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did stuff for Overdrive and a couple other things. So it's like we that was all fun. And we went to the dance studio and just kind of worked it in the mirror a couple times, which makes it easier.
Mime and dance are similar in a lot of respects. I think in the choreography, definitely.
Totally.
Chelsea and Camille's experience helped us,
what was
touches.
What was really fun for Overdrive was we brought you two, Bunny and Brian, in after we had kind of solidified, the big strokes, the painting strokes of the song. We were like, okay, like we've got a picture of it. Then we brought you in to kind of refine it. And facing the mirror a couple of times. And then I remember after getting comfortable with the dance, looking in the mirror, we turned you guys around, and you had to do the entire dance facing the wall. So you can't, because I was like, okay, now's the real test, because this is going to be like, you can't see yourself on stage. Yeah, no cheating. That's always the next step after rehearsing in front of the mirror. For most
other songs, like something like Clockwork or Steamboat, we usually have moments where we all come together and there'll be choreography with the robot stuff. And then the rest of it is kind of up to each person to make it their own, because as fun as it is to see us all come in and synchronize for stuff, it's also interesting to just see the robots be a band on stage. So we have our own choreography for some songs that us individually aren't really aware of what the other person's doing, because it's kind of just like, what is this animatronic doing on stage? You know, and I think a lot of the improv comes
There
there.
might be like a sway or something that we all do in a certain part or something, but but then we're just kind of applying our own character.
Because if we had it's not really the group to have a dance choreography for every single song, especially with the robots.
But definitely taking it there, like, it's challenging. It's a lot of work, and it's pretty amazing what we were able to accomplish with
a lot of new songs that we would start on stage.
Chelsea.
We would never do any dancing with, or we'd have the Pennyacks do something, because it's so much to just try and learn a song, play it, and sing it and stuff, that you can't always have everyone on stage syncing up for some certain stuff, like, until you're comfortable with the song.
Hold Me, you guys go off to the sides, and it really just features us, but like, which is good too, because it's like a little bit of a break, you know, and the focus is on someone else for a minute. Turn Back the Clock, which we did way back in like 2015, was a really fun but challenging piece, because that is a very long song compared to Hold Me. But we also incorporated Rabbit into that piece a little bit more. Obviously there's not too much we could do, because, you know, people have instruments, or, well, you didn't have an instrument on you, but it's harder to choreograph a ballet where you're interacting with someone who's not also doing the ballet. But I remember being pretty happy with how Turn Back the Clock turned out, the way we interacted
really
with you in that one.
I think another thing, and just like being a robot, like, so much of what goes in my head is being aware of how I'm moving, and when I'm not singing lead, and trying not to take the attention away from the lead singer, or at least trying to make it look. So like when I rewatch anything, usually that's all I usually watch the stuff that I'm not singing lead on, because I want to make sure that I'm not doing something that's looks weird, because I don't know. If when you're singing lead or anything, you're kind of just doing movements, or almost like driving it. But like when you're off to the side, you know, trying to not divert attention, that's like the easiest way to start taking your breaths. Know when you don't have to work as hard, and so you want to keep the illusion up, but also, you know, you can kind of tone it down a little bit. So that's always kind of a tricky to kind of figure out. I'm always having to look at video, because I can't trust how I think it feels in my head, you know? Like, until you get that muscle memory of like, I'm gonna kind of like make it a little less robotic here, just so I can breathe a little bit, because David's gonna take this part right here.
It's definitely like it's hard to come up with the whole act and try to remember it all. It's definitely a learned kind of thing, with even song to song, but also in the bits and stuff too. So
sometimes the movement comes very last, like it's the last thing we focus on, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, luckily, I think for Bunny and I, for sure, who have been doing it like quite some time, like there's some stuff that just comes naturally, so it's easy to like. That's the thing that we're gonna have, like when you're on stage, like it's just gonna come. It's just gonna you're gonna anytime you're not doing anything.
There's like a bag of tricks we've all developed that we can kind of just put into a song, like certain movements and stuff. Where I can be like, I've been doing it for so many years. You just kind of like, okay, I'll throw one of those in here. We'll throw one at the end, and then the rest I'll just not do anything there. And
so it's a mix of conscious stuff, and then of course improv, because like if you're just a regular musician on stage, like, or a singer, like maybe you'll have a choreograph stuff if you're like a pop artist, but you know, you're just a person on stage. So for us, it's like we're a person on stage, but also we're trying to be a robot. So it's like an extra thought of like, well, if I have to go pick up my water bottle, like, of course, if I'm doing a comedy, but you don't necessarily have to be a robot or something. Like for a second, you can just kind of drink it, look cartoony a little bit, or you can make a whole bit out of it if you need to. So it's like, I mean, that's just.
It's a lot of being aware on stage and trying to make yourself look like you're not as aware of your own body. Like a lot of the stuff has to go into kind of like muscle memory, otherwise it would just kind of get in the way of telling the story. I don't know. It's so weird. And like I sometimes always wish that, I wish we could just be on stage and not do all that. But I think that's kind of the magic, is that there's that extra bit of effort where you can tell the moments when we're off, but probably just when we're actually trying to sing something or get something, you know, good on a guitar or something. There's like little moments here and there, but we're always on when we're on stage for those 2 hours, and it's fun, but it's also exhaustive.
Yeah,
we did a nice deep dive with that question.
Yeah.
That's a lot to say about movement, huh?
All right. This next question comes from Techno Tinker. Booplex song when?
What's a Booplex song? Let's get into that, Bunny.
Booplex. Booplex is a character from Vice Quadrant.
Which one of our albums?
He's basically
One of my albums to talk about.
he's basically a stand-in for Hooter from the Michael Jackson, Francis Ford Coppola directed Captain EO. Hooter,
AKA Max Rebo.
yes.
Redesigned Max Rebo.
Where it's like the one guy on the ship who's like the mess up.
He's a klutz.
Like,
never
why do we
thought
have
of
this guy here? So he just kind of, we were trying to like come up with a voice, and I was like, no, he's just Booplex. He just says Booplex. And then we came up with like I just did a little drawing, and he's like a cute little rhino alien with like 4 arms.
So,
But, yeah.
so
Yeah.
Song tomorrow or what? What is it?
Song
you got it working
tomorrow.
on it? Or no?
Yeah, it's you know, it's not a very robust song lyrically, but it definitely has a lot of B's in it. There's a lot of rhymes.
Steam Powered Giraffe is definitely known for taking obscure characters from the lore and the stories and songs and giving them their own songs. That's we do that a lot.
It's just hard to find rhymes for Booplex. Booplex, duplex. That's
not a very good one either.
That's all we came up with for the song tomorrow.
Duplex.
So you're
No,
gonna
that's
enjoy that
not-
one rhyme.
Was that a rhyme though? Let's take a vote. What? No.
It's kind of a rhyme, yeah. If you say it fast
Booplex.
enough,
You have to like.
and you kind of distract with something over here. Like, whoa! Look, check this out. Booplex, duplex. Oh yeah.
I have a
Whoa.
love. His name is Booplex. I wanna move into his duplex. Duplex.
Sounds dirty.
All right, throw it in next week. We on it.
Had some dinner. Take my X-Lax. It's like a stool softener.
But then when we go
So
to
there you
Europe,
go.
we'll have to change it to cherry cola. So that way, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You know, like what was that song? Lola.
Yeah.
Zola,
They couldn't say Coca-Cola in the EU
Right.
like a cola.
because the laws. It would be an advertisement.
Wow.
Yeah. Even though
Yeah.
even if you're not trying to do an advertisement.
Wait, what did they say instead?
Cherry cola.
Tastes just like
Oh.
cherry cola. That's the UK version.
Cherry cola's nice.
Maybe I've always thought it was. Maybe I didn't realize that it was Coca-Cola at any point. I've always thought it was cherry. Cola.
I only know the Weird Al version.
Yeah,
I've heard both.
maybe that's also
Yeah.
it. Maybe I only know Yoda.
Wait, doesn't even Yoda doesn't Yoda also isn't his song also have
It
Coca-Cola
also
in it?
says Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
It
the swamp
does.
bubble like Coca-Cola or something like
Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway.
that was a joke.
that. So anyways,
Next question?
Weird Al's great.
Yeah.
Great.
Firefeather asks, David, the 500 Miles cover you put out a couple weeks ago was really great. Question for all of you. Do you all have any other hidden covers you're individually proud of and that you'd like to post?
for those unaware, I do have some solo stuff. Not very much, but it's on Spotify and stuff like that. Just look up my name, David Michael Bennett, and you'll find it. Yeah,
okay.
covers. So, well, that's the thing is like we don't have like a backlog of songs. We're like, no, we can't release it. You know what I mean? Like, we do have a few, like for me, just messing around with stuff. But like, there's definitely no recorded covers that we're holding back. But I think yes, we are definitely. I think as a band, we're interested in releasing more covers. We haven't done some in a good long while. But what do you guys have to say about covers?
I ain't got nothing.
Got nobody that I can depend on. That's a good song. Maybe that song. There's a billion songs that like I could think of. Like, man, that'd be such a cool song.
Oh, you meant like
to
actual
record?
covers that we have actually done, or do we want to do?
Yeah, the question actually was, do any of you have any hidden quote unquote covers that you would like to post?
Oh, okay. I was like,
I misread
Oh.
I misunderstood the question earlier
me too.
before the podcast. I'm sorry, but they're asking if you have any covers that exist already that you would want to post.
Do not have any that exist already.
that's
that
okay. So I took
not
it. I took it right.
shared.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Don't have any ones actually that I've ever done. I don't think I've ever recorded a cover that I've. No, I don't have one. So
But the band is interested in doing covers, but we wouldn't.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
wouldn't, we
oh,
wouldn't
of
give you a
course.
hint at any of that because it would spoil it if we did, if we said
Yeah,
stuff.
of course we have songs we want to do covers of like all the time. Music's awesome.
So I think we're all interested, but I don't unless Brian has like just a giant hard drive full of recordings of him singing some stuff.
But
I mean, I do have a bunch of. I legit do though, because I have to do cabaret. I mean, especially this year, I've done like 1 billion cabarets, so I've just got like cover after cover after cover after cover. But but it's not like I don't post anything. And most of them get deleted eventually. But yeah. There's always something.
Yeah, I think it's more unique to have a cover that's like finished but never officially released, and then it somehow gets leaked. I mean, that was just unique.
Yeah.
Whatever my situation was, but
I like a cover that's gonna do something to the song. You know, it's like that's really going, like, you know, what you did with Diamonds. It's like you completely changed the feel of the song, and now it deserves a reason to be covered. You know, I don't want to just cover a song just be like, all right, it's the same song, but me singing it. Suck it, whoever sang that song before. Like if you have something,
that's why it's easier to do older or traditional stuff or anything that's like, because you know it's like, well, you've heard Johnny Cash dunk this one 1,000,000 times, and other people, and like, well, are you going to bring anything new to the table? Like, I think that's the interest for me too. Like, well, and it is easier when it's like, well, what if a man sung this song that's traditionally sung by,
I like that.
But even there, and like you can look up Diamonds, and you'll find tons of cover versions where of like, you know, pop idol guy singing it and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so there's definitely people out there that sing it better than me and stuff.
I like whenever
not as
someone I like whenever someone finds someone else covering Diamonds and sends it to you. Like, did you see this? Like they copied you or something?
As it was my song.
I did hear that in the grocery store the other day. I was like, why is this song so familiar? Like, I know I was like, oh, it's Diamonds. Oh, we covered Diamonds. Oh yeah, we've done shows with this. So it's like, it was like, like, we hear something, you smell something from like the past. You get this like that's what it was. It was like, the show was starting. I was like, I'm backstage and I can't. I fell down in the grocery store and crawled for the rest of my life.
Sir, are you okay? Do you need a Diamonds? We don't got any of those here.
Diamonds! It was much like that.
Is Aubrey Hepburn hurting you? I don't know. Is that right? Is that Audrey Hepburn? Is this tracking?
Wait,
what's the singer that Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend? Am I just making things up?
Yes, sure.
You know the song?
Yeah, but I don't think it's Audrey Hepburn.
Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend.
Yeah.
Is it Elizabeth Taylor?
Honestly, we could Google it, but let's not.
I remember the song.
Let's not. And just move on to the next question.
This next question comes from David. If you all had to sleep in a giant bowl of cereal, what cereal would it be and what kind of milk would be in it? To clarify, yes, there's a giant spoon in the bowl too, and yes, you all have to sleep in the bowl together.
Well, this is definitely
in the milk. In the milk?
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Wait, in the milk?
What?
Yeah.
It didn't clarify about in the milk or anything.
Yeah, can we throw like a tiny mattress in there from a dollhouse?
What kind of cereal would it be, and what kind of milk would be in it?
Yeah, you're
and
just in the bowl of cereal.
There's a giant spoon in the bowl,
and I'm
you all
supposed to be
have to
sleeping
sleep
in it?
in the bowl together.
No. Everyone, all of us, have, 4 of us.
Well,
have
we
to
probably
want
to say dry, so we don't just.
No, there's milk.
It asks about milk. There's going to be milk put in it, and you can pick what kind. But it's going to be. I know because I wrote the question.
My question is, how tiny are we? Are we like?
No,
are we like
fine.
Honey Ice
we are normal
size.
size.
It says giant bowl of cereal. It says giant bowl of cereal.
No, you're not getting it wrong.
No.
Cheerios aren't massive. They're not massively made Cheerios. They're
I didn't
it's
say
just
that.
a lot of Cheerios.
They're regular size Cheerios.
Everyone stop acting like you understood the question because I wrote it. Okay, you're on a desert island.
That's a good answer.
You're regular sized. It's the 4 of us. We're on a desert island. It's there's a palm tree. It's in the sand.
I can't wear a Cheerio like an inner tube. Is that a possibility?
Maybe.
That's
maybe
exactly what I said.
I'm trying to
about now.
I'm trying to bring you down into this question. Maybe you pay attention.
Okay, go.
There's a giant ceramic bowl.
Chaos.
It's not kiddie pool sized. It's like it's big. It's like you can fit 4 people in it comfortably.
Bigger than any of our apartments, right?
No, not that big.
Oh.
I would say it's like It's like
a swimming pool.
it would fit in my living room. You could fit 4 people in it. Okay, so like
I don't want to be in a giant bowl filled with milk.
It's kind of like that gift that Mr. Burns gave the Simpsons.
You're
Simpsons,
forced
right?
to do it.
Wow.
The giant TV head that takes up most of their.
It's life or death. That's maybe it's not life or death.
Fine.
Maybe
Then
it's just,
Cheerios.
Maybe it's for a good cause.
Tube.
Maybe
Stay away from me.
Maybe it's for a good cause.
Okay,
Yeah,
but what's inside it?
Yeah.
Then what kind of milk is it?
And there's a giant
You can
spoon.
choose. It says what kind of milk.
Why
have
did I
to
even take the
choose.
time to write the question?
What is the
I had to
milk?
explain it. Okay.
And how big are these cereal bits?
The cereal is big. So someone who has to put the cereal in there is going to be giant Captain Crunch. It's going to be giant,
No, that
Can
would
I
be
use
dangerous.
Rhino milk?
mini wheats.
Rhino milk?
And then the milk itself, they're going to have to source it. So if it's something ridiculous, it's all off because they're not going to be able. It's already expensive enough to get a bunch of rice milk or almond milk or oat milk. It's already expensive to get dairy milk. It's
Fight milk.
But to get something
I
like
want rat milk. I want them to fill it up with a little
that would be, they would shut it down. They would shut it down. This is realistic
Wow.
to the degree that we're on.
Can
an
I
island.
I would also like to add on. What would you rather have as a pillow? A giant shredded wheats or a giant Chex?
Wait, who added
This
that?
is from Wig. This question is from Wiggy.
Okay,
if you-
so
if
an
you
addict-
were-
Chex?
If you were in this
right?
giant bowl of cereal, would you want giant shredded wheats or giant Chex?
I don't
want
to mix my cereal, so
The shredded wheat's gonna make it kind of scratchy and itchy, right?
Yeah, but
Also, all
if
that
it's in,
sugar if you lay on
but-
the cool side of the pillow.
if it's in milk, it'll get nice and soft and soggy. When your
Yeah.
Chex Mix will fall apart.
I don't
we'll
like
probably
this.
start rotting and our
All
limbs
right,
will
here's
start
the
falling
answer.
off. and-
Here's the answer. I'm
Let
going
us out,
with
giants!
I'm going with whole. I'm going with whole shredded wheat. Okay, whole
right.
shredded wheat because it's like it's not like the mini shredded wheats. It's like a brick of shredded wheat, and it will float on top. And we use it as a raft, and we can also
Then
eat
you
a
don't
little
have
bit
to
of it,
touch
like a
the
little bit of
milk,
it.
which is important. Then you don't have to
What?
touch the milk, which is important.
I don't
for
have
me.
to.
you-
and I
you're
can use
thinking-
rat's milk.
Are you?
Okay.
There's no way it's not displacing that milk. You're just gonna soak up, and the weight of any of us on a wheat.
This is disgusting.
A big thing of wheat doesn't weigh anything. Isn't gonna weigh any close
I
to
know,
anything.
it'll-
that we
If it
do.
soaks up
It'll
enough,
on the
it
milk.
might becomes like a solid.
And
But
then
it's
when
not-
we get in it, it'll get soggy
In
slowly.
fact, I am going to choose oatmeal, so I can just kind of lay on this squishy.
No, it would be like quicksand. It
would be like quicksand. You would
just
die.
You would die.
I want
sucked into the oatmeal.
I want Reese's Puffs and no pillows for me.
Cheerios.
And I want
No thanks.
I want buttermilk because that actually would probably be good for the skin.
Ew.
Oh,
Isn't that
it
like a
would
thing?
eat you.
Yeah,
No,
but it's like
there's
it's
acid
like
in
all
it. It would eat you.
sour. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like vinegar.
There's got to
It
be
smells
there's a
like
type
butter.
of milk.
Like, can you smell butter for more than an hour? Like a big vat of butter. You smell that? Oh my god!
Fine,
You
never
vomit.
mind.
You vomit, and then
Yeah.
it'll be butter and vomit and peanut butter cups.
Can
Well,
I
anyways.
ask? Okay, what would be the worst cereal in this? The worst cereal choice. Like anything with those giant marshmallows, right?
Yeah.
Because like if you get stuck in one, you're dead. Like you'll just fall into it and be like, ah, the sugar's eating me.
Yeah, I think the worst cereal is oatmeal because it's quicksand and you die.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't know, I
mud.
think so.
It would just suck
We need
you
the
in.
MythBusters to figure out if it would be squishy or if it would. Once the milk
Mythbusters
gets
hasn't
soaked
been
up
on
enough
the air
milk,
in a long time.
once it soaks up all the milk, it'll become like cement.
Well,
Pretty sure.
Nasty.
What kind of oatmeal you eating?
Let's call it them Quakers.
I'm sorry
they're
this
a thing or
question has
two.
divided the band so much. I'll try to think of a better one next.
Yeah, you better.
For what? When's our next one? Is it February, March, April?
This is the last one after that question.
Ever.
The last one I'm doing.
So
We're-
After a question like that.
We're on our
In
last
fact, I don't think I'm singing harmonies anymore.
Hey, I was gonna say grape nuts. Someone in the chat mentioned grape nuts. They don't really get soggy, not like other cereal.
I mean, Captain Crunch ain't
when
gonna
you
get soggy.
and when you change the size of each nugget of cereal, it probably changes the consistency of the cereal a bit because the physics aren't Honey I Shrunk
Well,
the Kids. kind
Change
of
my
thing.
answers as well. If it was giant cereal, of course, 100% inner tube immediately. But
Yeah.
no, that's not true because 100% giant shredded wheat because that would make more sense.
Just
I'm
imagining
I
all
don't
the
buy
ovens.
this. I don't buy
you'd
this
have to,
big
if it
shredded
was-
wheat inner tube or
This giant
What?
like
You want to test it?
this giant bit of like Captain Crunch and it takes up the entirety of your oven just to cook one. And you have to like glaze it with like a paintbrush because they glaze it in like sugar, and that's why it resists so much.
But it doesn't resist for very long. It gets soggy immediately.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a big bowl. I'm gonna get a giant shredded wheat. I'm gonna get action figures, 4 of them. I'm gonna put them on top of the
That's
shredded
not
wheat.
gonna work.
I want to see how long they last. All right, if they last more than a day, you owe me a thing of shredded wheat in a bowl.
Who's gonna do the oatmeal? Who's gonna do the oatmeal?
It's not the same. You have to get a bit. Action figure's too small.
What? Too small? What kind of action figures are you using? I'm using an action figure.
We're not saying can an action figure lounge on a mini wheat and not hit the milk. We're saying can a person with a person-sized mini wheat or
Well, yeah, but an action figure is in the shape of a person.
But it's not the same. The displacement would be all wrong, and the wheat itself because it's the same.
What we need,
it's the same density but blown up and more, so it's
I'll
going
add
to more.
quarters to them.
What we need is a cereal specialist and a scientist.
Call Jeff
Someone who really
Goldblum.
likes
He's both.
cereal and.
They would just say, "Why do we need to know this?" And I'm like, "Well, honestly, there's just nothing." How well does
look at like swimming pool full of cereal, and I'm sure this has been done already.
Well, yeah, but like regular size cereal. In that case, then you can't do anything. You just have like thousands of pounds worth of mini wheat that you're just gonna...
Let's propose this question to Reddit, and then we'll see how the hive mind decides things, and we'll see who's right. How about that?
Let's not pretend that this is an award-winning question or anything. Let's not give it more attention than it needs.
It's gonna be front page, and then we'll all look at it, and we'll all decide who gets the karma. All right?
I'm on team checks pillows. Just throwing that out there again. Just
okay.
The mini wheats are not going to be my pillow.
We have. I think we have one more.
We have one more question. This one's from Molly. What were your favorite bits to perform when you were all still doing live shows?
Ooh, the one that we did. We're in the show and we're doing things, and we're like, "Hey, I'm in the show now."
You know, the one that kept cracking me up was always the one where we did like the Western barroom brawl.
Oh my gosh,
it was so hard not to just like lose it on stage every time. We haven't done that one in a while, but
the worst part is that it came right before AEH, and then I had to sing the whole song, and if I played my cards wrong, I would be exhausted before the song even started.
Because sometimes we would just riff and improv and just go on these tangents.
Goodness. I'm sorry, but like the bottle breaking bit where like we're breaking it and sticking it in you, and so, like it's number one got to be exhausting. I didn't think about that. It's a lot of effort on your part, but it's so funny. It's so funny to me, and I think that was like probably the hardest I laughed at rehearsal.
We can describe a little bit of it. So there's all these little vignettes that we try to do because we're like going to be playing a westernese kind of song, and so the robots are getting in like pretending they're cowboys for a second, and then there's like a barroom brawl that we get into, and I like bust a bottle over the. This is all miming stuff, so we're not doing anything. And I try to stab like Rabbit, and Rabbit turns it around, and I stab myself, and then I break another one. I do the same to Zero, and he does the same thing, and it goes back and forth.
It's really funny.
And then eventually, I'm like breaking it and handing it to them after a while because
we're stabbing spot.
and then we're just handing it back to you, and you're stabbing it into yourself.
And I stab it in myself. So.
And you're just looking for somewhere to stab.
And then at the end, I think I go like this, and then they all So
and then we're like we pick glass out of our.
That's a great bit. Me and Camille also always liked that one because as soon as the barroom brawl bit started, we were like, break time.
I mean, there's also like funny like
eating
there's
cookies
a Rock'em Sock'em Robot bit. Yeah, I mean it's so dumb, but it's so fun.
It was really fun.
We had a good bit on our last show.
Yes.
That I think it was the first time we did it, right?
Oh,
or maybe we did it for the
wrench bit.
We did it for. Did we do it for a holiday show? I can't remember.
We might have done it for Bakersfield, but it was very short lived. We only did it once or twice.
Squeaky foot.
Yeah.
Spine has a squeaky foot. He's not always the butt of the jokes, but for this one he was too.
That was a good
Someday
one. That was gonna make it into the set.
Camille, we have that giant foam wrench, and Camille like mimed dragging it out on stage. Like it was really, really heavy, and
for some reason, Spine does not. It's like when a kid doesn't want to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Like Spine does not want the wrench, so it's like the squeak is fine, and then it's like it's not fine.
No,
it needs to
we're
be
getting the wrench.
It's like I'm getting a shot or something.
Don't we say we're gonna bring in the little wrench?
Yeah. And she drags this giant wrench out.
We're like talking him down, like it's gonna be okay, Spine. Like it's gonna, like look me in the eyes, look me in the eyes. Come on,
Chelsea,
come on.
Hardly
Chelsea
anyone
has,
saw this.
Has to.
Oh yeah, I had like the
Airplane
air
signaler?
traffic like these like glow sticks, and I'm like directing the wrench out on stage because it's so big. And,
Wait, doesn't it? So something about a lollipop.
yeah, we had a
happens,
lollipop.
too.
We
I'm
bought
like-
a prop
Oh yeah,
lollipop.
you're gonna get a lolly. We'll get you a lolly.
I'm like,
He
well,
gets it at the
okay.
end.
Then I'm like, no. And they're trying to hold me back, or you guys are holding me back.
Yeah.
And then they just tighten it, and it's like, well, that wasn't so bad. Or where's my lollipop, or something like that.
But it's like, but I'm like, I think we blocked
You
it out.
have
So
it,
so while everything's getting set, it appears in my hands like I have it. But then I'm just looking at or something, or I don't
Well,
know.
it's like, because I'm like, well, where'd you get that lollipop or something? We wrote it down, so we don't have to remember it.
Yeah, we only did this
Okay.
like once. I'm like trying to remember, but Rabbit just takes
it's
the
just
lollipop.
joke
and
after
it's like,
joke after
and
joke
my,
after
my
joke.
favorite part was when you just stick your hand out with the lollipop, like, and go,
Done.
I'm done.
You're just like, done!
Yeah.
And then Walter
And, like,
Workers
we
come
have
out
to
and
come take it.
take the lollipop. So there's multiple jokes. The joke of Spine really didn't get the lollipop, but Rabbit just happens to also have a lollipop. And like, well, why didn't I get one? You have one. I'm like, this is mine. I brought it from home. Or something. I don't remember the bit.
I mean, all of the bits
a non-
where
it's like-
the Walter
yeah, it
Workers
just
are
keeps-
basically parents to toddlers are my favorite. Like, done. Like,
Well, then
you're
also
just
you
holding
can't
it
really
out,
judge
like-
us. You know, you're kind of like, yeah, this is my job. Like, and you're not.
Oh.
None of you on stage look like you're over it. It looks like you're more than eager to put up with our bullshit.
Yeah.
We had another new bit. We had the button bit with the.
Oh.
We're like,
Yeah.
like
was a good one.
we discovered that the button, the button is controlling the robots. So like, we press every time you press the red button, someone.
Woo.
And
The
then
hands go up. Woo.
Spine had to do it, and this was the show that you had zero voice.
Yeah.
So it wasn't gonna work, and then it works out like so brilliantly for that reason specifically. You
Yeah.
know.
Oh, so
That was a good one. Both of those, the wrench and the wrench and lollipop bit, and then the red button bit, were both brand new bits that I believe we premiered in either December or February 2020. December 2019, February 2020. Those were our last shows, so we didn't get to do those as much as we wanted to,
Those are-
but they were
you
really
let-
fun.
Like deconstructing them right now, it's like, yeah, they're like, that's like vaudeville. Like it's something that you don't even need. The language isn't even important because you can tell the story just by looking at Spine's eyes and like the giant wrench. It's like
Yeah.
even if you didn't hear like it's the little one or I want my lollipop, but it's like that you get a lollipop after a doctor's and that Spine doesn't get it and that basically the doctor is taking the lollipop. The only thing making it better if I was wearing like a lab coat or something. There's so many things. But like just the. Just everything you're talking about is just making me miss it a heck of a lot.
That was a different time. That was before the.
The dark days.
The darkness.
I love like slapstick sort of just physical humor, or it's just like it's a sound and it's a funny movement, and that's all. That's why it's funny. It's like.
Yeah, but it's that like that like Pavlov response, like
Yeah.
the audience knows it's gonna happen, so like the minute that everyone knows it's gonna happen, the minute it doesn't happen or something happens different, it's like it just makes it so much fun. Building.
So that was the last question. Thank you,
Yeah, great
patrons,
questions.
for submitting those. If you're a patron, you can submit it into the channel on our Patreon, and we'll get to it in April. And now, just to end everything, or should we do our recommend thing before we do this
Yeah,
thing?
go ahead and recommend some
So
stuff.
now we decided to make a recommend part of the podcast. That way, if I know before the podcast we have a pre-stream for patrons that we just kind of talked about whatever. But if any of us have something we would like to recommend to each other or the audience,
I would like to recommend something. I would love to recommend something, and I don't know if I've recommended it before, but there's some new episodes that came out. Simpsons season 32 is amazing.
Really?
The animation has gone back to hand drawn, and it's almost like they reinvented all the characters. It happens so subtly, but you can kind of see the change. But season 32, it's like it reminds me of like when they rebooted DuckTales, where they kept like they kept the story and everything the same, but now they're kind of trying out like a different sense of humor, and you can kind of see that the writers have like a voice. And it's like it's very different from like old Simpsons, but it focuses more on the characterization. So like just like Lisa's personality conflicting with Bart's, or you know, any combination of it's like anytime Carl comes on, who has a new voice actor by the way, so does Dr. Hibbert and all that. Like it's consistently funny, and they're not throwing out as much pop culture references that they were doing in previous seasons.
I like it.
So yeah, I think that's a return to form. Like the last episode was just amazing. Like it just blew me away. The quality. Anyways, that's my recommendation. Check out Simpsons season 32 now on Hulu.
I'm on it. All right, my recommendation is Space Sweepers. It is a space western movie on Netflix, Korean movie, I believe, and it is delightful. If you like Cowboy Bebop, it's very similar to Cowboy Bebop. The actors are so much fun in it. The action's fun in it. They do a lot of stuff that like really turned my head. Just like and maybe crave more movies just like this, you know. So it's you know, if you have your Netflix account, it's only a Netflix account away. But yeah, give it a watch. You'll enjoy it. I think you'll like it right off the bat, or you won't. Who knows?
Cool.
I'd like to recommend a show that I just finished. There's 2 seasons of it. It's called Joe Pera Talks to You. It's an Adult Swim show. You probably might have seen one of the shorts that they did for Adult Swim, you know, for that block of time back when people had cable television and they need to put something on at 1 a.m. in the morning. So anyways, it's been called like perfect pacing show. So if you watch it, I think you'll agree. It's very relaxing and calming. And there's a good story behind it. And by season 2, you get to know a lot of characters, and there's a lot of great understated performances, which I think is, you know, it's very nice to see, because it's not. I don't know how to describe it. You have to. It's a character, a guy who talks real slow, and yep, I think
Joe Pera. What is it?
Joe Pera Talks to You. If you have HBO Max, it's on there. So if you have an account there, you can.
Because I did see the short. I saw that, and I thought that was very funny, but also legitimately like calming and kind of like.
Yeah, and that's the whole show.
It was funny, but it was also like pretty wholesome and like.
And that's the show. I think they found a good. I don't know. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
I was hoping there was more of that. I didn't even know, so I'm excited to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going right to bed or something, you need something that's like not going to keep your brain awake. It's like. You know, the music, the visuals, like how it's shot and stuff, the pacing's just nice. So anyways, that's my recommendation.
Chelsea, you got one?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that's not too depressing, because I listen to a lot of like, you know, intense stuff. But I'm gonna say the podcast that I'm really into right now is called This Is Actually Happening. And it's every single episode is basically just someone being interviewed telling this incredible, crazy story of some insane experience they went through in their life. And it's basically, you know, like just them in their own words. It's all like you don't even hear the interviewer's voice. The entire episode is just the person telling their story. And there's just a huge, like, wide array of experiences and stories that are being told on the podcast. Some of it can be pretty intense, and every once in a while the host will like put a warning before the story starts of like, you know, not trigger warnings, but just like a content warning. But like there's some incredible stories about people going through these experiences in their life that they never thought they'd survive, and they come out the other end of it and they tell their story. And it's a really incredible listen. If you're looking for something a little more lighthearted, I recommend How Did This Get Made? A comedy podcast by Jason Mantzoukas, Paul Scheer, and so sorry I can't remember the other host's name, but that's a really fun one where it's just comedians getting together talking about usually a really terrible movie.
Cool. And then Chelsea, to end the podcast, has a thing for us. This is trivia, which is just a vehicle for us to make jokes, but
pretty much.
Also, it's fun for the viewers at home.
Hey, this was
the listeners, I suppose.
This was a nice pacing for this show. This was good job, guys.
Yeah.
we thought out something. And
You
it
guys
worked.
ready for some bird trivia?
Oh, born ready.
We ended with bird trivia. It's a winning.
So
winning
just in case
formula.
any of you are wondering, like the podcast, we do a video live stream for our Patreon patrons. If you're at the $5 tier or higher, you get to see those every month, and a few days early than when it goes live publicly as an audio podcast. So I just wanted to chime in there with that.
Okay, I don't know. Some of these might be too easy, but I'm on usefultrivia.com and I'm gonna test your bird knowledge.
And hey,
Bird
everyone,
knowledge.
you can't look it up. Don't Google
Don't.
anything. No one's gonna be impressed.
All right, well, let's start with an easy one.
But I am going to wear my bird mask.
Okay.
This isn't me typing because I have to wear it high for my camera. So
These are multiple choice, but I'd like to see if you guys just know before hearing the
So
the
we want
answers.
So we're gonna talk about the question and be introspective
Here's
before
an
we hear
easy one.
the answers.
which bird has the largest wingspan? Does anyone know?
Okay, so
That's
we're gonna
Ooh,
Globulus.
I do. It's the albatross.
albatross.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
So
What's up,
okay, so
champion? That's a 3-point shot.
Wait.
Wasn't this going to be multiple choice?
Yeah, but you guys guessed it.
let's not pick ones that
Okay,
can be
let's
guessed.
not
that's-
guess it right
All
off
right,
the
right.
bat.
Okay, wait. Okay, ready? How many
Also,
known?
Brian has worked at the zoo, so he's probably heard.
No, I
some-
haven't.
Hey.
Shut up.
How many
That's an
known
unfair
species of
advantage.
birds are there? Does anyone know how
Sorry.
many species of birds there are? Known species.
Yes.
There's
Go
at least
ahead,
4.
David. Go ahead.
Oh, it's at least 12.
At least 12?
At least
It's
12.
actually 3,250 specific species of birds.
Can we have the multiple
I'm
choice?
gonna
so we
yeah,
can-
I'm gonna give you the choices.
Okay.
How many known species of birds are there? 40,000, 5,000, 10,000, or 20,000?
It
What'd I
seems
say?
like it would be a lot. Like
I'm
20,000.
gonna say 10.
There's there's at least 5 different types of spiders. There's got to be a lot of birds.
5.
I'm saying 40,000. It's 40,000 types.
So we got a
of-
40, a
10,000.
10, and a.
I think 20. 20.
The
That
correct
sounds
answer is 10,000 known species.
That seemed about right. That was my guess of it.
known species to
Good. Wait, so I was the
peacock.
closest. I was the closest, right? Is that what you're
this
saying?
guy-
What?
Yeah.
I got it exactly right. But you know what? Yeah, you can have
thought
this
you
one.
said,
You
like-
got it. 1 point
I
to
thought
Bunny.
you said like 30,000 or something. I don't know. Whatever.
1
What?
point to Bunny for just because proximity to my answer.
Guys, what is a group of owls called?
I know.
I want
This
them
isn't
to
fair.
be a.
Why
I want
did
them to be
choose
called
animal
a
trivia.
hoot.
This is
I know.
not. This is not fair.
Should I tell you? It's called a parliament, ladies and gentlemen. It's called a parliament of owls.
I just sent.
Are you sure it's not?
I
It's
just
called a court of owls. Hello.
It's called a hoot. of
Batman.
owls. That's what everyone wanted to
A
hear.
hoot.
All right.
So we're basically skipping over anything that Brian can answer off the bat.
What's up? Come on, get me in there.
Okay, here we
Come on,
go.
coach.
Okay, here we go. Which bird builds nests that can house 200 birds and lasts 100 years?
Is it this one bird
I'm
in
gonna give
particular,
you-
or like a species?
No,
Little-
Brian knows this one.
Oh my god! Why did I
I'm not-
think this was a good
I'm
idea?
not. No, I don't really know this one.
Can I?
I don't
give
really
you
know
some
this one, but
choices?
Yeah, please do.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Little grebe, or grebe,
I don't know.
grebe, Grebe, black kite, a bio weaver, or a sociable weaver. What bird?
You know what? I want to say it's sociable weaver, but it's probably bio weaver
I'm gonna say sociable weaver, just based on.
because it makes more sense. I know.
Yeah. Oh, social. Of course, they're gonna make a giant condo for their bird
social
family.
weavers.
A weaver.
Sounds
A weaver
pretty
was my answer in the first place. So
The correct answer is sociable weaver.
Okay.
Social weaver.
They literally create apartment complexes, basically.
yeah, a couple birds do that, like pygmy falcons do that too. There's like a little species of falcon like this big, and but it's like 12 and not 200. That's a lot. But I knew weavers were.
Okay. One ostrich egg is equivalent to the weight of how many chicken eggs? 3, 24, 6, or 12?
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna
12.
say 24. 24.
12.
But I think Buddy's right. I think it's 24.
I think Bunny's wrong. 12.
All right, and the correct answer is 24 chicken eggs.
Okay.
You
Yes, I want sandwiches.
Are we
What'd I
keeping
get?
track?
No,
Are
we're
we
not
keeping
keeping
track? What do you guys win?
Nothing.
The fans will keep track and they'll tweet at us. Tweet who won.
Whoever
Who you thought
loses
won.
is out of the band.
Whoever wins
Okay.
gets to be called bird person forever.
I'd like to see if you guys know how much a bald eagle nest can weigh. Bald eagle nest can weigh up to how many pounds?
I actually know this one.
Pounds,
So
okay.
actually, the most that a bald eagle nest has ever weighed was this one time when a bald eagle nest was on top of another one, and the top one fell down onto the one below it, and that nest weighed exactly as much as 2 bald eagle nests, and that was the time.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
Do you want to hear
Say
the
it with
choices?
conviction.
Do you want to hear the
Almost believed
choices?
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, before you hear the choices,
Okay.
I'm saying 24 pounds.
24 pounds? Okay. Do you
Wait,
want to
with
hear the
eggs?
choices?
Is it with eggs or not without eggs?
Yeah,
This
I
is-
want to
it
hear the
just says-
choices first.
Okay. How much
I wanna
can
hear
a
the
bald
choices.
up to how much can a bald eagle nest weigh? 2,200 pounds, 1,100 pounds, 4,400 pounds, or 550 pounds.
Oh, is it
How many
because
eggs are in there?
Did everyone hear?
is it
Like
because
2,200
section?
pounds, 1,100 pounds, 4,400 pounds, or 550 pounds.
I'm gonna say 550 because it's the lowest
Wow.
number that my
Wait,
brain can
wait,
wrap
is this-
around.
is
I
this
was
like some
expecting
sort of
like 2
rock?
pounds, 10 pounds.
Is it because they like make a nest in a rock? I'm going the heaviest answer you have. That's what I'm
All
going
right.
with.
Everyone want to know the answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
The most a bald eagle nest has ever weighed is 4,400 pounds.
Was that the most?
Wow.
The most.
Is that my answer?
Yep, that's the largest.
It's
Now,
like a little more believable.
the largest known bird's nest was built by a pair of bald eagles near St. Petersburg, Florida, USA. It measured 9 feet 6 inches wide and 6 meters deep. 20,
Well-
20 feet deep.
Guess that'll do it.
Yeah. Okay.
At that point, they just found an empty dumpster and filled it with a bunch of branches and like, nest,
Is that nest?
get in there. 4,000 pounds. We did it. Dumpster wouldn't weigh. Oh, maybe. With enough eggs and shit in it, probably would weigh that much.
Eggs just filled with straight eggs and shit. Oh my god, what is this dumpster? Oh!
But wait, the miracle of life is also in there too.
Eggs and shit. Yes.
That's the podcast title.
Yeah. Okay.
Eggs and
Eggs and shit. It's also the title of the name of my breakfast spot, my breakfast nook spot. Eggs and shit.
I'll put an asterisk on the I, and it'll be fine.
Perfect.
all right, let's see.
We got some more bird
Do
questions.
you guys know why
Yeah, we do.
Do you guys know why woodpeckers usually peck in short bursts? They get tired, their beaks hurt, they have short attention spans, or their heads overheat.
Their heads overheat. That sounds the most realistic, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one too.
They're
I'm
tiny
going
little animals.
with they're very rhythmic animals, and they're trying to break up the rhythm of all the animals inside the tree.
Which
Is that
letter
is that letter D or E? I'm going with that one.
So no answer. There's not an answer for that. So Brian loses.
What's the answer, Chelsea? Tell him what the answer is.
Their heads overheat.
Oh, okay.
Which I
cool.
think seems pretty obvious.
Whoa!
I'm gonna have to
like,
find
also-
some better questions next time.
It's it's the mask, guys. It's
What about
working.
me? I also got it.
You
right.
said nothing.
I said I agree with Bunny.
Oh. Well then, welcome.
Let's go to tape. Let's go to tape.
Where's your bird head?
Hold on, let's go to tape.
Where's your bird head?
Hold on, let's go to tape.
Where's-
Oh no, it's
It's gone. See?
it's
I'm right again.
All right,
How
all right.
shameful.
For their size, hummingbirds have the largest what of all birds? Eyes, stomach, wings, or brain?
I'm gonna say eyes. Because they small.
Eyes,
They small.
wings, brain, or what was the fourth one?
Eyes, stomach, wings, or brain? What do they have the biggest of for their size?
Stomach.
I think them dumb.
Them dumb.
You think them dumb? I think them dumb too. I think they have the biggest stomachs for their size.
So
Like
stomachs,
brains,
Eyes,
eyes, and what?
brains.
brain.
A hummingbird's brain makes up a whopping 4.2% of its weight. They have the biggest brains for their size.
So wait,
Poop.
So
So
are they
wait.
smart?
did anyone say brain or wait? Bunny
Bunny
was saying
said
I
brain.
think they're dumb, so they don't have a brain.
I said brain.
But you said you think they're dumb.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
established
because their
that
brain's
brain
so
was
small.
the...
But it's the biggest brain. And
You said big
Yeah.
brain?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have The
So
correct
you're,
answer
you're
was
right,
brain.
but you're wrong. You're wrong about why you're right, but you're right. That makes sense.
I misunderstood the question.
Yeah, but
I
you're
ended
still
up getting
right.
it
So it's
right.
fine. It's
Yeah.
multiple choice. Nothing
Right.
matters.
They have the biggest brain based
Did
on their
you,
body
did
size.
you guys know
Oh,
studies?
so maybe they're pretty smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys know that studies have shown that they can remember every flower they've ever visited?
Wow.
Aw, that's
It's
poetic.
adorable.
Write that in a poem.
Not the flowers that I stepped on. You can't remember those flowers. I'm
All
sorry, I
right.
don't step on flowers. I lied to you.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
lying to you. I step on flowers all the time. I'm kidding. I don't step on flowers. I would never step on a flower.
Let's end on a downer.
Okay.
Ready? What percent of parrot species are endangered? 40%,
All of them.
20%, 30%, or 50%?
50%.
Is it the largest?
The
Is it
largest, whatever the
50%?
largest one was.
Well, that wasn't very hard. Yes, 50%
Do we have to end on that
of
one?
all parrots.
We need something a little more
all right,
light.
All right,
Light.
back to animal trivia. Let me see. Let me find a good one.
Pigeons actually like our garbage cities.
Hey, pigeons are the most versatile bird on planet Earth. They're amazing surviving creatures, and maybe you should stop socking back.
I saw the Planet Earth too with the.
No, that's not. Well, that's not where I got it. Uh-uh.
I saw Planet
Anyone-
Earth.
Not catfish eating them.
Yeah.
Catfish.
Any of y'all know what the smallest mammal in the world is?
Oh.
Want me to give you some choices?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
Pygmy
Is it
marmoset, western harvest mouse, numbat, or bumblebee bat?
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. I want to say. Oh no. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's a big.
I wanna go with the bumblebee
think it
bat.
would be, but
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a bumblebee bat too.
bumblebee bat or the what was the second
The
one?
mouse.
Western
The mouse.
yeah, they're pygmy marmoset, western harvest mouse, numbat,
You can't
or
pick two
bumblebee
because
bat.
then that's you get 50%
Okay,
of
then
it
I'll
Smallest
go with the
mammal.
mouse. I'll go with the mouse.
or
Okay.
20. Yeah.
Maybe the.
The correct answer is the bumblebee bat.
Ha ha ha.
Whoa! How small is this thing?
He's almost
Tiny.
the size of a bumblebee. And that they have another name
Wow.
actually. They're found in Thailand near the River Kwai.
I'm gonna look one of these.
They're
up.
called delicious.
I don't remember they have another name besides bumblebee bat, but if you Google
Popcorn
bumblebee
chicken.
bat, you'll find it. They're
gonna
so
Google
teeny
it.
tiny.
Oh my god! They're so cute.
They're like.
They're so like I thought they're gonna be cute, but this is.
Show me.
How am I supposed to show you?
This is a podcast, everyone. No one
I
can
literally
see.
Googled it in like 2 seconds.
Anyone know what the world's most poisonous spider is?
Okay.
We've got Brazilian wandering spider, the brown recluse,
brown recluse.
Sydney funnel spider, or daddy long
Yep.
legs, which is
Brown
That one.
recluse. I want to say
I'm gonna
brown
say-
recluse.
Okay,
The one in
what-
Australia.
I know what it
Wait,
is.
wait,
I know what it is. I know what it
okay.
is. It's the daddy
Okay.
long legs. Just that their
Oh,
bites can't
yeah.
penetrate our
That-
skin.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's right.
You're right.
which I mean, the,
Is that wrong?
the
That's
not
joke
a
is
question.
that
Oh,
that
wait,
is
wait, wait.
not true.
It could be. Wait, it's not true because daddy long legs
that's a
aren't
myth.
spiders.
That's a myth.
They're not spiders.
But they're not
they're-
even that poisonous.
They're technically related to. They're more
Yeah.
related to
Like-
scorpions than
I've,
spiders.
I've eaten so many spiders when I've slept. I think I would know.
That's also a myth.
Here's the answer. Anything in Australia is the most poisonous.
Okay, so what's everyone's answer?
I
Sydney
said
funnel
brown
spider?
I'm gonna
recluse.
say the funnel spider.
The Sydney funnel spider.
Is that your answer?
Yes.
Yes, David.
Yeah, you
Oh,
already know my
okay.
answer.
So you're all
Stab
saying
in the
Sydney
dark.
funnel spider.
No, I'm saying
Yes.
I'm not what they said, even though
Okay.
they're probably right because it's Sydney, Australia, probably.
The most poisonous spider in the world is the Brazilian wandering spider,
Yeah.
Oh.
also known as the banana spider.
As this is a great to end on. We all
Oh,
got it
banana
wrong.
spider. Cool.
None of us had to feel better than the other one now.
Too late. I already do.
I just want to say,
No.
spiders aren't birds.
I know. Here's a good one to end on.
Trick question.
What animal has the highest
Wait.
blood pressure?
The humans.
Oh no!
I could get a
What's
spider
happening?
Ready, everyone?
Okay, ask more spider
Okay.
questions.
Bunny just has a stuffed animal spider or something on.
I would like you all to tell me what animal has the highest blood pressure. And I'm not
The
giving,
hummingbird.
I'm not giving you choices. I'm going to tell you.
Hummingbird.
Hummingbird?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, oh yeah, it's got to be something small
Spider.
because we're thinking stress
Um,
and like yeah, animals experience stress like monkeys and stuff like that. They have like they're super stressed out because there's always like an alpha thing going. But it's probably like something
Hummingbird?
small that needs like to get that blood. Oh,
All right.
What about? I'm gonna say giraffe
Hummingbird? Giraffe?
because that's a lot of neck to pump blood up
gosh,
to.
yeah, hummingbird, right?
All
That
right.
makes sense.
Animal with the highest blood pressure? is the giraffe.
What?
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
And now we're stopping right now because I'm the best. No, I'm just kidding.
Blah, 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 blah.
I probably would have answered a small animal too but you all said that and I was like,
It's okay.
Well,
Also, I picked up on Chelsea's excitement, so I was like, "There's something to this
God
question,"
damn
and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
You're a
giraffe,
little
long
too
neck."
excited.
I don't.
But I honestly can't see your phone or anything like that. So, anyways,
I was just too excited. Well, anyway.
But you know how it goes. That's how social situations go. It's easier when you're in the same room as someone. Like with the video, I think it's harder to like gauge people. You know what I mean?
He felt my giraffe excitement.
In this
Sorry.
world of Zoom calls and Discord video stuff, like it's there, but it's like because it's delayed, it doesn't feel as natural as when someone's right next to you.
Well,
It's
I
okay.
don't-
You don't have to explain it. We're not sore that you knew giraffe. Nobody is sore.
I think he feels bad that he won.
Nobody cares.
No, I'm just saying.
We were about to end on this high note. And you gotta, what are you talking about? Let's end on giraffe.
I don't remember.
Why
I
did you
don't
bring it
remember him
down
being the
like
one
this?
that won. I definitely don't remember that happening.
Well, I definitely want. No, I'm just.
I really don't know if this trivia
It wasn't
session was.
that
I
last
don't know if
question
that was a
was
success.
1-0, right? It was 1-0.
You be the judge. You decide.
Okay,
Was it-
viewers.
Was it me and my bird mask and my spider thing that
Was it
Help
me
me
and my
with
multiple
animal?
correct answers?
We should really.
took the best stab in the
okay.
dark?
Certainly.
Next
wasn't that
time,
last one.
next time, if we do trivia questions, there needs to be some kind of structure. I don't know what's happening.
I mean, well, honestly, it's more fun if we get angry at each other for everyone else, for everyone listening.
Tune in next April.
In
April.
We do this every
For
other
the
month because.
continuation of
Tell us what you liked the least about the podcast, and we'll get rid of it. Was
It better not be-
Was it the bird mask? No.
it better not be the bird mask. But
You can't even
if
see
you
it.
want it off, I have many other masks.
It's kind of messing with the
Many
acoustics
other
of your
bird
voice.
masks.
I think the acoustics of your voice.
I actually do have another one of these.
Anyways.
Well, anyway,
There's nothing else, right?
giraffes
Oh,
are
wait.
really stressed out.
Brian, do you want to play us out of the podcast?
I sure
as
do.
he looks around at his room full of instruments.
It's the podcast from Team Power Giraffe. It's the Bennettarium. And then we did stuff, and there was a zipper too on the Bennettarium.
Is that your wallet?
Yeah, it's no, it's not a wallet. It's the thing. It's got a little thing, as it goes. Bennettarium. And we're all done now.
No, you
Thank
gotta
y'all.
explain
Thank you.
what the zipper is. The listeners don't know what it is. They could be.
It's a zipper. It's a zipper from a container that had stuff like clippers, like nail clippers in it.
Oh, okay,
and
so personal hygiene set.
a file in it, and it also has a stain of toothpaste in it that looks just like a ghost that's saying hi to you. And I'll never wash them off ever, not in a million years. I'll see you later, everybody. Join us next time on the Bennettarium.
Thanks for explaining.
Bye.
I think they'll really enjoy the audio listeners. Okay, bye.
the
everyone.
audio listeners are going to be so lost. They're like, what's going on?
Where did
How do
this
I-
personal hygiene kit zipper come from? Anyways, I'm gonna end the event and ending and stopping.